So if we come to Susanna now, you've had a varied career, you've done all kinds of things, and you're now very successfully leading your team of 13 people in OERC. It's quite a big team, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So I was wondering if you'd like to tell us a bit about your experience of being a woman in engineering and, what you found helped you to become confident, become successful.
Okay, so in reality, my background, it's in molecular biologist. I was a bench scientist, and then I turned into a data scientist. This is over 20 years ago. So in a way, nowadays, I believe I am an information engineer. And throughout my career, I really have met a number of great professional women who have helped me throughout, the different steps of my career. I really own to many of them, but especially I fondly remember Jane, a lab manager who really mentored me during the PhD. I remember Janet, the director of the research center, that really helped me to really see my career and my step forwards and prove myself an independent scientist. And last but not least, to Anne, which is the former director of the ORC, who really hosted me in Oxford and allowed me to create the group that I have now. And it is great now to have the group working with the Department of Engineering, because I really can see the diversity of the engineer teams and thematics. And I mean, be able to create links and connection and expand my area of activity and research interests.
Did you find that the people who encouraged you over the years that kind of understood you the most were other women engineers?
I think so. I think they really have been pivotal. Yes.
So now you've come to a point where I know that you're very, very busy with your team, but you've also chosen to step into the Women in Engineering role. Your role is you're the senior
faculty advisory.
What would that involve? How would you support, let's say, young women in engineering?
Okay, so what motivated me to apply to this senior faculty advisor position is because I really want to give back as much as I can and help other women to succeed, in this case in the field of engineering. So my role within the Women Engineering Network could be to champion the goal of the network and the activity within the department and the university, assist Maitha and the other officer to make useful connection with other researchers or other groups that have similar goal. So for me, it's a way to really give back what I had.
That's wonderful. And you must have a huge amount of experience that you can give in terms of mentoring. I mean, is it kind of building psychological confidence, or is it helping them with that academic side, that kind of thing?
Right. Well, I will help in whatever form or shape it's required. But in a way, Maitha and her colleagues are very smart, and they might be young, but they're very experienced. So they already bring a really lot of value. They already have a lot of idea.
Looking actually at what's in store for us with the Women in Engineering group, what can we look forward to? What are your plans, Maitha? What would you like to see?
So basically, for the Women in Engineering Network, we have a purpose of providing support network for all the women in the department, and we also facilitate their professional development. So we really look into promoting the interaction amongst women at all levels, from undergraduate to permanent staff, by organizing these different events and activities related to the department's goals in education and research. We also want to promote general awareness about the accomplishment of women in the field and the issues that they face as they progress in their careers. And we also encourage men actually to participate in the Women in Engineering events and to join us and support our goals. So for the upcoming Trinity term, we will start hosting some social and academic events tailored to the needs of our members. And from here, I actually urge all women and men in the Department of Engineering Science, whether they are staff, faculty, researchers, students, or even alumni, to sign up on our website to get engaged with these events and to network with other talented gems that we have. I'm pretty sure that they will find something interesting and beneficial from being a member in the Women in Engineering Network. Also, we will be hosting a very major big event for the International Women in Engineering Day. That's going to be on the 23rd of June this year. So I want them to stay tuned and mark up their calendars.
Okay, so it sounds as if there's lots of exciting events. We hope that we'll be coming out of lockdown at some point so you can actually all meet face to face.
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, we do have some plans to host the smaller scale events, like especially because of the pandemic. I know it has been very hard for most of the people in here because of networking. It's so hard to be in touch with other people physically. So we do aim to have a couple of events, like following the guidelines, of course, of the number of people that are allowed to be in a group. We will be doing these. So, for example, walking buddies is going to be one of the events that we will host, hopefully. And because the weather is now getting much nicer, so it would be nice to have a cup of coffee and you get randomly bonded to someone else in the field. So it's really nice to have a nice walk around the park. We will have a designated route for them to go through, have a cup of coffee, discuss a couple of things, probably solve a problem, a quiz or something like that. So it's a form of activity and it's engaging for people. Of course, we will have the virtual events as well. So it does depend on the group of people. I know, like for undergrads, they are more engaged and they like to have study groups. And like for having new staff or PDRAs in the department, of course, we need to welcome them. We need to have them connected to people around them because they are doing a lot of research and they need this support from us. So we will be the platform that supports all of these various people.
That sounds to me as if what you're doing almost is you're creating a kind of family for young women engineers coming into the Department of Engineering. If they come to you, to the Women in Engineering group, it's like a family. You can get the support, you can get the understanding, you can get the nurturing and the advice. As you said about yourself, your own family gave you that. And this is what they can find in the Women in Engineering group.
Precisely. It's more of a family. I don't think they want to see it as being just a committee that's sitting over them doing the events. No, we would like to hear back from every single member, every woman and men in the engineering department. If they're having struggles or if they're having any issues, we'd love to hear from them. We want to be more engaging with them, to support them, give them advice. If they are struggling in their research, for example, and they are looking for someone who is more specialized in this field of research, we can hook them up with the correct people and advise them what to do next. Like for young joiners and people who are joining us, like for the first time or traveling from abroad and coming to Oxford and they want to start their engineering majors, they usually struggle to settle in and find people around them. Like they always have these issues and we don't want them to be isolating themselves alone without engagement with us. So we'll be welcoming them, provide them with all means of support that they need. And if they're having any struggles, we will try to resolve everything for them.
That's fantastic. I'm sure that will be very, very encouraging news for anybody watching this if they're a young woman wanting to study engineering. So one last question, Maitha. You are, as the president, you're obviously involved in the way the whole group and the network is run, the elections, the structure of it. And I understand that you've got very sensible ideas about how you might do that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically for this steering committee that we have at the moment and the selection of the members, it was done by the Equality and Diversity Committee. But like for the upcoming years, what we plan to do is having yearly voting on new members. So we always want to have this diverse network that holds diverse people in the committee. And for the upcoming period, we are designing a voting protocol. We will cover ethical aspects related to fairness, to transparency and integrity. And we also are keeping in mind who can vote, how can people be nominated, and how the voting will be done, as well as appointing independent officer to oversee the election process and results. And I honestly believe that giving up our roles to future women in engineering members should happen yearly at most, because we have to give the opportunity to other members to take the lead in a democratic manner, while providing the new members with the utmost guidance and support during the transitioning phase. I do believe strongly in the idea of renewable committee, with the having new faces each year and passing down the baton to the next players to sustain and expand women in engineering network's role in Oxford and beyond that. So we do encourage anyone who is identifying as an engineer in the Department of Engineering Science to apply in the upcoming elections, to nominate themselves. We want people who are committed, who are strongly believing in the role of women in engineering, who are advocating for women, and they think they have all the necessary skills, abilities, and time to dedicate for this network to grow it even more. Right now, we are just setting down the foundation, and I hope that I can help in setting up the foundation for the Women in Engineering Network, and will be more than happy to support anyone who would love to be more engaging with us, to provide any ideas for any events they want to have. We are more than happy to hear anyone out. It's a network designed for everyone, by everyone, basically.
So what's interesting about that, what I'm hearing, is that you are giving women engineers an opportunity to step forward and become leaders as well as engineers, which will stand them in good stead, because if they are to go out as engineers in this man's world, if they've developed leadership qualities as well, this has to be doubly beneficial for them.
That's correct. And we are going to help them. We want to build the next leaders who will take on the engineering in the future, and they will work in the industry without having any doubts, because right now it's really hard for most women. Like, even if they go into engineering and they work in an engineering major, after a while they do give up their careers and they transition into something else. And we want to have the new leaders who will take on the world by a storm.
It's very wise and very sensible. And I think if I was a woman engineer, I'd certainly be joining the Women in Engineering group.
No, actually, you are more than welcome, because we also support all staff as well. Anyone who's working in the Department of Engineering Science, they are welcome to sign up to be members.
Fantastic. Thank you, Maitha. That's very encouraging.
Like Maitha said, the Women in Engineering is a network, and it's a professional and personal network in a way. And I really like very much an African proverbs, which is about, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. So this is where together we can show how diverse and exciting the engineering field is, contributing to the improvement of the image of the engineering professions, and hopefully together we will be able to remove the current gender disparity.